back.
Welcome back to another podcast episode with Lauren and Kylie.
Need like all these sound effects.
Oh, I have a little icebreaker question.
Okay.
Okay. How would you say girls cheer? Like that was really awfully phrased, but like if somebody, like when somebody like pops a champagne bottle, or when you're at a concert and the singer like says something and like you start cheering, like what do you do?
Woo!
Yeah, right? Okay. So and the reason I'm asking this is because when I went out last night, there was like the singer was like, he like did that, and then he was like, no, I got a song for the boys. Like, if you're a guy in the house, let me hear it, or something so stupid like that. And so then, how do guys cheer?
I don't know. Like, stupidly.
I feel like you have a brother, so I feel like you can answer this. Wait, what? Okay, that's what I thought. So when he said this, he was like doing that, and the guy's like, yeah, woo. And I was like, and then I jump in naturally and I go, hoo. It's great.
Oh, we just automatically think that they're animals.
I needed somebody else to be on that same page with me. Thank you. Okay.
I don't even know. I mean, maybe Lance's thing. I don't know. I don't pay attention enough. I just always.
It probably depends a little bit on the context, I'm sure.
Yeah.
For girls, I think like we just woo all the time.
It's louder. It's easy.
Yeah. I mean, I'll scream sometimes. I'll be like, yeah, woo! But like, I'm not gonna actually do it. You're welcome. But like, yeah. Okay. I just needed somebody to be like on that same page with me.
That's immediately one was
Yeah. You get fist up, you go, hoo.
Who have we been around?
No idea.
Anyways, so speaking of cheering, I told my first period, because they're so quiet in the mornings, that I'm going to start bringing pom-poms for them. Like, or a pom-pom for me to cheer for them when they answer something. And then I realized I had one because of convocation. They gave us little pom-poms for new teachers, and I forgot about it. And so the next day I was like, look what I got. And they were all like, stop. And I was like, sorry, wake up then.
So have we recorded since you've had like a first full week?
No.
Okay. Give it to us. Let's go.
Last week was pretty solid. I feel like we were still, what was last week? I guess last week was like the first full week, right? So we were catching up a few more things for the expectations, and then we worked on emails. That's what we were doing. We were working on email writing. And then that went well. I got to grade those today because they have progress reports going out next week.
Ooh, so early.
I know. Well, it's because it's technically 3 weeks, but we started on the Thursday, so it's not whatever.
Okay.
So I gotta do that. But this week was weird. This week was so weird. Monday, what even happened? Monday was odd. They all just kind of, we had to do these like HMH testing. And it's basically like to see their reading level. And so Monday I was like, oh, it's going to be easy day. They're all just going to sit, do nothing. Well, not do nothing, but like, I won't be doing anything.
Yeah.
I'll be sitting and doing nothing. So I'm just like, okay, like fun. Guide them through it. And then they're just on the computer the whole time. Fifth period rolls around. and the school's power goes out. Like flickers on, flickers off, flickers on, flickers off. Does it a few more
So
times,
weird.
and then completely off. And we were all like, okay. And then
Is it
apparently
like raining or anything, or like?
it wasn't raining. We don't know what it was. It was supposed to rain, so we were all expecting it to.
Mm,
So it was very odd. And then we were like, okay, cool. I thought the Wi-Fi would be down. We all did. And then it was kind of up, but then it wasn't really working well. So I was like, okay, guess not. Sixth period, my rowdy group was a hot mess in there
oh no.
because I just let them end up playing on their phones because I just like there wasn't anything else for them to do. We were supposed to go to the library on Monday. That's why the week started out weird. We were supposed to go to the library Monday, Tuesday, like all of our teachers or all the English teachers. I was still supposed to do the testing, but because we couldn't do the library, we had to move it back. So everything got kind of just weird. Like every morning we were like, what are we supposed to be doing today?
Yeah.
And so Tuesday rolled around, we continued to do the testing, but then one of my classes was completely behind. And then we finally all kind of got caught up on that. I still have kids that need to do the testing because they were absent or whatever. And then, but on Tuesday, second period, I went to go grab my, that's my conference period. So I went to go grab my attendance sheet from the lounge and I come back. I'm about to unlock my room and the fire alarm goes off.
Bruh.
And I go, oh. And so we're all leaving the room, like leaving. Luckily, I didn't have kids.
Mm-hmm.
And what was weird is we were supposed to have a fire drill Friday. Like they tell us when our drills are, so we're kind of prepared.
Right.
We were supposed to have a drill on Friday. And so when it happened on Tuesday, we were all like, hello? Like, what's going on? So we're all leaving and we're all like, what is happening? And then one of my coworkers was gone because his kid was sick. So there's a sub. So like this whole week just started out very odd. And so we come back in and apparently the fire marshal was there to check in on some stuff. And he was not happy because our alarms are going off, and our alarms are going off because a panel was messed up. So it was a real thing. It was a real alarm, not a real fire.
Okay.
And so technically it was just all a hot mess. And he was like, why are y'all, what is happening?
Yeah.
Because he was supposed to come in and check our rooms for like decorations and stuff that could cause fires, whatever. Anyways, so that was a hot mess day. And so my kids and I were all just like, oh, let's see what happens tomorrow. Like Wednesday rolled around, we went to the library because we were on Thursday. And I told my kids that after everything got turned around. They were supposed to go on Tuesday. Then I told them Thursday. And then it had to be Wednesday because my coworker was still out and he wanted the sub to go with him to the library and not do a lesson with them.
Mm.
So we were like, yeah, that makes sense. We go to the library, hot mess. A few of my classes were really good. Like, I'm not saying that, but they were all overall more chatty, some of them, because they were with friends from other classes.
Yep.
And I was like, oh no. And then my sixth period, who's already rowdy, acted like hooligans. And I was
hooligans.
There's a ramp in the library running up and down.
Wait. What?
So the school like has ramps. I think it's like how they leveled it. And in the library there's one that goes down the middle and they're running up and down. And I was like, I'm gonna kill y'all. I don't know how, but I'm going to.
I feel like you're running a kindergarten.
Sometimes I am. That's
the goal is just to wear them out.
No, yeah. I told him. Well, that day I was just mad at them because I was like, y'all are being ridiculous. Like the librarian even was like, wow, your sixth period's a lot, and I was like, yeah, it is. And then Thursday rolled around, and I was like, oh, here we go. Like, what's gonna happen now? And I was mad at my sixth period still, and I was just like, whatever. Sixth period rolls around, or seventh. Where am I? Thursday. That's literally how this week is felt. Thursday happens, and we do a lesson. It went well. I was like, okay, cool. Yesterday we did another lesson over their writing. It went really well, and I was very impressed with them. I was like, wow, we're gonna end this week so nicely. But overall, it was just a hot mess. Like it was just every morning was waking up going, okay, so what are we gonna get done today? And then even like the last 2 lesson days, like we didn't know what we were doing until the morning of because we kept having to shift everything around because of our timeline. So that was fun. That's this week. That was my first week,
Wait.
or my first 2 full weeks. The first one was really good. The second one was kind of crazy, but I don't know. It was kind of weird that they were all like good on Friday because I was supposed to have like the AP come to my advisory to talk to them, and they ended up like playing the silent game. Like my biggest problem child, he was like, "Let's play the silent game. If you win, you get blah 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 on Fortnite." And I was like, "Okay," and they all did it, and I was like, so for 7 minutes of the advisory, they were silent.
Honestly, you could probably use that kid.
I told
Like,
him a leader. We had told him, all of us, like all of his teachers have been like, "You are a leader, and like your friends follow you. You're just using it for bad right now."
yeah.
And he was like, "Oh yeah." So he's figuring it out.
Well,
And
that's really
during that,
cool.
he was trying to dab me up. He was like,
What?
"Miss, I got you. I got you. See what I did? See what I did here?" I was like, "Sit down." Like, but
Gosh.
I don't know. I do. It was fun this week, even though it was like very hectic. I was like, oh, this is kind of nice to know that every day is going to be different.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
the week before, when we were still going over expectations and like some of the more boring things and like emails, I was like, oh no, every day feels the same. I can't do this. Like,
Yeah.
which I mean, obviously, like any career feels that way, any job feels that way, especially like one that's a 9 to 5 or in my case, 6:45 to 2:30, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I knew that, but I'd kind of like last week just felt, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to wake up and do this every day and feel so stuck. But life, career, whatever, like, you eventually get to that point when you're not in school anymore.
Yeah.
Um, and so this week, with everything being so crazy and like just never knowing what's happening, and some of the teachers being like, "Yeah, welcome to teaching. This is how it goes sometimes. You don't get consistent days." And I go, "Good," because I was worried for a second. Um, and then them wrapping it up on Friday, like all my students just being better, even my 6th period, like a lot of them had some great answers yesterday on the writing we were working on. I was like, okay, I forgive y'all for acting like hooligans in the library. Like, and then some of their personalities, like really, even if they are annoying students sometimes because they don't listen, they are really cool kids and really cool
Yeah.
personalities. So you're kind of like, I like you before and after class, but not
Yeah.
during, like, which is fine. So we'll get through that. But I'm gonna have them do the gritty, my 6th period. I'm in class
So
because they were talking about it so much, and one of them always does it. And I was like, for your warm up on Monday, that's how you get into my class. And they go, okay. I was like,
I love it.
so we're gonna do that. Some of the other kids were like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And I was like, I'm not gonna force you.
Yeah. Me
Like,
as a 7th grader would be like,
no.
put me in Miss West, please.
So we'll see how that goes because they have a quiz thing on Monday to do. So, but that's teaching. That's my life.
That's so fun. Like it's cool because it's chaotic, but it's like you're learning to manage the chaos and like kind of harness it in a way. So
Yeah,
that's really cool.
the week started out rough, but then like by the end of it, I was like, you know what? 6th period is loud. That's
Yeah.
just them, and we're gonna have to go with it because we're not getting away from it. And even one of my coworkers, he was like, I hate my 5th and 6th period. They just keep on going. And I was like, okay, I'm glad it's you today talking about them. But I think sometimes it's just how it is. Like I can either like completely fight it, and some days I do have to. Like I'm not saying like it's gonna change. Like some days I really am gonna just have to be like, y'all have to listen right now. Like the bathroom thing, I'm still gonna have to fight because they act like kindergartners with the bathroom. Um, or like getting up to go to the bathroom. And I told him that the other day. I was like, I don't know what it is about the bathroom in here for y'all, but y'all revert to kindergartners. And they were all just like kind of grumpy that I said that. And I was like, y'all do. Y'all act ridiculous. Like y'all are running to the door to get the pass and go. Like, we're not doing that anymore. So that I still have to fight, but like the talking I can deal with in that.
Yeah.
What a time. How's the corporate business world?
What?
I said, how's the corporate business world?
Oh, I feel like I don't know yet because I'm still like doing a lot of training and wrapping up like coding projects. But I got customers. So these are the people, the like hospital systems / clinics, whatever they may be, that I'll be working with to like help assist them in like changing things that may need to be changed, doing things that maybe they can do but just need to learn how to do it, or things that like maybe they can't do that only like people at like my company have like access to do. So that'll be cool. I have one that's like, we call it like going live. So they're like rolling out the software. I have one of those in Washington State. So I'm gonna get to like travel and go there later and like for a couple of weeks, I think, and just kind of like help them. What?
I said, oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's gonna be so cool, but I'm just like, it's weird because it's like I don't know anything. Like I do, I've been training and stuff, but I'm like, I don't know. Like I haven't even started on that whole like learning curve thing, I feel like. So, because I learned like a lot more through like doing things rather than just like sitting in classes, presentations, whatever. Like I just need to be doing it. But it's like I don't know how helpful I'm gonna be at this like healthcare system, sitting there and being like, yeah, come to me with your problems. Let me help you like triage notes and like bills and whatever. Like that's gonna be very interesting. I should have like at least one other person there, like more tenured than I am, to like kind of help. And if not, like they'll still be kind of like on call, I think. So that should be okay. But yeah, definitely a little bit stressed out. But then I have another customer who's been with like the software for almost 20 years. So sadly, I don't think I'm gonna be able to go visit, but I'm gonna try my butt off because they're in Hawaii. So I really want to go. But yeah, the thing that's gonna suck with that is like the time difference. So since they're like 5 hours behind, it's gonna kind of have to be like scheduling meetings more so in the afternoons and just figuring out how to plan out my day because I'm probably gonna end up being better off like going into the office on the later side and leaving on the later side, which I don't love, but maybe that'll give me a chance to like go to the gym before work, or like actually enjoy my morning and not like rush out. So
What time do you have to be at work?
it's not like a set time. It's they say they expect you there from 10 to 3. Yeah, sorry, I don't have kids relying on me. But
That's not even a corporate schedule though. That's just like,
no. But it's also kind of like for me, I'll have so many meetings scheduled once I get like into it that like my days will be very like concrete. And we're expected to work like at least 8 hours, potentially like 9 a day. And so it's like I can't just go from 10 to 3. But and I don't have like I can't work off site. So which is honestly really nice because then I'm like I never take work home.
yeah.
But It's also really annoying when I'm like, I just want to go home, but I can't because I'm only at like 7 hours for the day and like I still have more I could do. But yeah, so right now I go in at around 7:30, 7:45 is when I like get there, and I'll leave usually. I've been pushing like 5 o'clock days just because like doing projects and programming, it's like once you get in it, it's like you're just grinding and it's a lot easier to just keep grinding than like get out and then try and set aside another couple hours to like get back into it. But yeah, it's been like 7:30 to like 4:30 or 5 a lot of the days, but it's probably going to start being once I like get more meetings and less training, it's probably going to end up being more like maybe like just 8 to 5 type deal. But probably won't be leaving before 5 just because I do have those like Hawaii customers and it's going to be a lot easier for them if I stay till like my latest. But I think it's going to work out because then that means I'll like have the morning to kind of like I'll go and see like whatever emails, whatever issues they're having, be able to work through those. And then the afternoons, I'm hoping can just be like meetings where I'm just like, go, go, go. Okay, this is what I have. This is what we can do. I'm going to work on it like a little bit later today if you like need to call. Boom. But like the grind will be in the morning, which I really like because then that way, if I can like grind in the morning, then eat lunch and then just like go meetings all afternoon, honestly, that's going to be so nice. I'm so much more productive like during the morning than in the afternoon. I feel like that's a lot of people, but I'm like, if I can just talk in the afternoon and not like actually be like actively grinding, that'll be a lot easier. So I think it's going to work out, but we'll see.
I feel like I have all my classes in the afternoon because I have second and third off. But then my afternoon is literally like after lunch, and our lunch is so early at like 11 something. Like I think it's 11:30 something.
We're like 5 hours in though, at least for you, because like like it's early lunch, but it's still like late in your day, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm hungry by lunch because it's been since 6:45. Like,
sure.
But my big chunk of classes is in the afternoon after that. So, like, it's so odd because I feel like it works out really well, though. I don't know what I'm trying to say with that. But it works out really well because usually I'm not an afternoon working person, but because my afternoon is technically really early, it works well.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Because, I mean, we leave it. They get out at 2:25.
Yeah.
So if you look at that like on a weekend, your afternoon is my afternoon is only the 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Odd.
That's what I was thinking about that actually when I was showering yesterday. It was a little shower thought that popped in. I'm like, because normally I'm like, okay, 5 days of work and like 2 days on the weekend. But when you think about it, it's almost like you get 2.5 days. Because you get like, whether it's like 2 o'clock on Friday and you're piecing out, or like 5 o'clock on Friday, like you still have like all of essentially, like I still think 5 is like kind of early in the afternoon. Usually I'll dip at like 4 on Fridays. So it's like you still have the whole afternoon. So it's like 2.5 days. And that just made me really happy.
I kid you not. I had these like very similar thought of like thinking that Friday evenings, Friday afternoons were my favorite part of the weekend.
Yeah.
Because
1,000%.
Like Saturday and Sunday, I feel like I need to be doing things. Or at least Saturday. I'm like, I need to do things on Saturday. Sunday, sometimes it can be chill. Sometimes I'll just leave my like chill task for Sunday. But Friday, I'm like, that's literally brain shuts off.
Yeah. And that's what I love because I used to do that. That was like my plan in college too. I would have one afternoon. It was usually Friday afternoons that I would just like completely like clock out, brain off, nothing going on up there. And like it was my favorite thing. And in college, like I would spend it usually going to happy hours with like my friends that like I had a class with before. But like, because I'm like, you've already been productive for the day. Like, no one's really expecting anything more of you. You don't have assignments due on Friday at midnight.
Right.
That was a big thing. I was like, I don't have to be more productive today. So it's like amazing. And that's why I usually start like going out on Fridays, because I'm like, I don't have to do anything. Like I've been productive. I've earned this in a way, which I'm like, not earned alcohol, but it's like I've earned this little time to go out and enjoy myself. And then like Saturday is kind of like rest, recharge. Sunday, like same sort of vibes. But it's like I definitely feel that I was like, what in the world? I love this. So that's a really good little epiphany.
Yes. You wanted to talk about your Chicago trip, did you not?
I did. Ellie just sighed the biggest sigh.
Because you're being loud.
After you said that. I guess she doesn't want me to talk about it. No. But let's see. I went to Chicago. One of my like friends calls it Chi-town, Chi-town, something like that, and I'm like,
yeah, I think Chi-town.
It's I don't know. Chicago. I went to Chicago. And yeah, that was really fun. We went to like the Cubs game. It turned out to literally be the best game to go to.
Oh.
It was like, first of all, it was raining, so not like weather-wise, but then it stopped raining and cleared up, so I guess that was fine. But like, we literally came in probably like the bottom of the fourth, just because it had been delayed, but then it didn't say like how far it had been delayed, so then we ended up being late because they like started it, and we were like, oh, oops, they're starting, we should go. We thought it was gonna be long, but they were literally just going. And like nobody, it was like 3 outs, boom, 3 outs, boom. And I was like, bruh, we're going to get through this game in like an hour. And
that's why I love baseball games, because you just never know.
Yeah, I realized that. But I'm like, usually I think I can like plan. But I guess I haven't been to like a ton of baseball games. And so I'm like, I was like, we're going to be here for an hour. And like the tickets weren't expensive, but I was like, still kind of annoyed, because I was like, we literally made this whole trip like partly for the Cubs game and then to like just like explore Chicago. But anyways, I ended up going to 11 innings. It was stressful. Like I don't think I've ever like actually stood up and screamed at a baseball game. That's more like football game vibes for me. But I was doing it, and it was it was really entertaining. But yeah, so Cubs won. It was great. I was like, I can't not be like a fan after this, so consider me a bandwagon fan now.
Who's Wisconsin's team? The Brewers, right?
Yeah. And they were playing the Brewers that day in Chicago. But I was like, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna root for the Brewers when first of all, I don't really have any like connection to the state yet. Like there's no freaking state pride up here. So I'm like, Wrigley Field, the Cubs. If I have the choice of a blank slate right now to make the decision, we're going with the Cubs. So
bandwagon.
Yeah, exactly. But it's fine. But yeah, it was really cool too, because they had like they had like a electronic like scoreboard and stuff and whatnot. But they also had like their old like vintagey looking one.
Oh, so yes, most of those have the electronic ones.
Yeah. I've been to enough Astros games to know that. But no, they had like their old one, and there were people like standing in the like board thing, like switching out the numbers and like whatnot. It was so cute. I was like, it just made it that much better, and I really want to know like how to get that job. But it's probably freaking hot as heck in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, really cool. It was really, really neat. I really liked it. But it was, I want to say it was weird, but it was basically weird because it was like the first trip, like with my, like one of my new friends. And
Yeah.
she's like one of my new besties. And like, I love her. She's great. And like, we've spent enough time together. Like, we work together. We've gone out like almost every weekend. So it's like, I know her enough. But it was like, just like that thing of like, I want to go to Chicago for the weekend. I want to go to Chicago for the weekend too. Let's go. And like, I don't know. I'm like, we're still not like super close, obviously, because we worked together for what, like a month and a half. And so it's like, I was weird. I was like, I'm obviously comfortable enough with you and like feel like I know you enough to like go on this weekend trip, but I'm like barely there.
Making new friends is so odd because it's like at one point, like you and Nicole, for example, met
Yeah.
and then went somewhere for the first time.
Yeah.
Me and Hannah, for example, like at one point we finally like, I don't know, slept over at each other's dorm or whatever it might have been. Like
Yeah.
you have to do that like first thing,
Yeah.
but it's just so odd because a lot of these friends that you do have, you felt like you always had.
Right.
To do that now when you're very cognizant of making new friends.
Yeah. It's really weird.
Because
And
I
like,
was to Madison whenever like law school. Like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, we got really close really fast. And then the first time we went to a concert together and I stayed downtown in Houston at her apartment, I was like, this is different. Like
Yeah.
I'm aware that we're adult friends and we're like I don't know. Making friends in like elementary and junior high and high school is a lot different than making friends as an adult.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, it's weird though, because like I feel like you have that like bracket, I guess, of like elementary school to like high school or junior high, almost to where it's like either your moms were friends, you went to the same like Mother's Day out, pre-K, like whatever, all the way up to like you were in the same like you're on the dance team and y'all literally had to have like bus trips where you had to sit next to someone, and it's like you didn't really have like you had a choice of your friends, but it was like, okay, you're gonna be doing this regardless, pick who you do it with.
Yeah.
Rather than like, and I feel like that can carry into like undergrad too, like even sorority stuff. It's like, okay, you're gonna do this, so you just have to choose like who to do it with. Like you have to carpool, so just pick who you're gonna carpool with. Like it's almost like not assigned friends, but it's like you have to do it. So it's not like are you gonna be friends with them? It's like, or are you gonna make friends? It's like, who are you gonna make friends with?
I feel like college is the first time you start becoming aware of that.
Yeah.
Because like forced proximity thing, and then now with me in law school, or when I was in law school, it was okay, the same thing. Who am I going to be friends with here? And then you found this friend at work, and you could either not have friends at work, or you have to find one. But I think like as you get older, you just get very aware that you're having to make those more conscious efforts to be friends with people.
Yeah.
Or be alone.
Weird. And I'm like, it's flowed perfectly fine. And luckily, like I'm in a company with a lot of like new hires and so, or a lot of like people fresh out of college.
Right.
So it's still a very similar vibe to like college, like making college friends. But I don't know, it's just weird. And it's just like kind of like you're saying, like the more conscious you are of like making friends and getting over that little first like hump almost is really weird. Like, and like it's fine. Obviously the trip went great and like we definitely want to do it again. We were talking about going up for like St. Patrick's Day or something. And like the other day she was like, oh my gosh, we need to go back to like Navy Pier and like ride the Ferris wheel if you like Ferris wheel. Like this bitch doesn't even know if I like heights. And like we're taking a freaking weekend trip together. And so
Yeah.
it's just very like it's very like it's really fun, but it's really weird. And I don't know. Like I'm very lucky to have like had that so early. Um, but it's weird.
Yeah.
And let's see. Also, like last night, I like kind of got voluntold to have a pregame
Oh.
at my place, but like this guy like who's my friend slash coworker thing like had it at his place last time, so he was just like pregame at Kylie's, and I was like, sure, I don't care, that's fine. But it was like the first time like having people like Sydney's been over here, but it's like the first time having like a decent group of people over, and it was just like 4 other people, but it was like these people have never seen my apartment before,
Oh yeah.
and it's just like also it's not like super furnished either. Like I still need a rug, I still need a coffee table, but it's like furnished enough to like have people over. But it's like I don't know, it's weird too. I also think like just people like seeing my like sanctuary almost is really weird, because I'm like I don't have a problem like hosting things, like I love it, but I'm like you're in my space. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is like not like the most vulnerable part of me, but I'm like this is like obviously like this space is me and it's just me, so it's like you're seeing me
Yeah.
like manifested in my apartment or like whatever. So it's like I don't I don't know. And I'm like I'm not comfortable enough to give someone like an apartment tour. Granted, there's not much to like give, but I'm like I don't like anyone like seeing my bedroom, because I'm like if anything like that's like my ultimate little like sanctuary thing, like that's completely private to me. Except for like a couple of people probably. But even just like letting people into my living room and like meeting my dog, I'm like,
Well, because
this is
it's
weird.
either confirming perceptions or changing
Yeah.
how people think about you.
Yeah. I also just really want to know, like,
Is this what you imagined when you thought of my apartment? Like,
honestly, like, I want to ask.
yeah. Do I give off this vibe? Like,
Yeah, honestly. I mean, nobody said anything, so I'm like, I feel like it's like kind of like my vibe. I mean, I think I tried to make it my vibe, but no, I'm always very curious to know like what other people think
mhm.
of me, and not in a way of like, oh my god, do they like me or not? But are they like, oh, this girl is like obsessed with like national parks, or are they like, this girl has never set foot outside of her little like Woodlands bubble before? So it's just like a very like, what do you think of me?
Yeah.
But yeah, so
It's part of the whole meeting new people thing. It's very fun, but it's very scary.
yeah,
Especially knowing more. I think that's part of the whole like getting older and being more aware of things. You're also more aware of yourself.
yeah,
It's not even like in high school and stuff, you can be like, they're gonna judge me for my like very surface level things, but now you, like know who you are
right.
a bit more. I mean,
Getting there.
we're but like we know ourselves a little more than we used to, and so
Yeah,
like you really are inviting people to make their judgments and form their opinions, and like it's a little bit more personal now
hmm,
in a way.
yeah, and it's like, yeah, this is my apartment. I'm like, obviously, like, I'm subjecting myself to those opinions, but at the same
Right.
time, I'm like, none of this is going anywhere. But
Right.
it's very like, it's very, I don't know. It's it's just kind of like the whole like, oh, what are they gonna think?
Who's gonna
Like
stick
pure
around?
curiosity, like what do they think? More so than like, oh my god, what do they think? Like, should I change something? And granted, like I did clean my apartment before people came over, but I think that's just like appropriate.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, oh, and I have this. There's one thing I was a little bit worried about. I have in my bathroom, I have a get naked bath mat, like in front of my shower. It was either that or butts.
Huh?
But I was like, I really just wanted it. I thought it was cute.
I used to have one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really cute. And I'm like, I'm living by myself. I'm like, who's gonna freaking tell me I can't have a get naked bath mat?
Naked.
Yeah. I feel like I was talking too fast. It came out like naked, and I was like, I have to correct myself. But yeah, so that was a little bit worrisome when like my friends went into like and used my bathroom. I was just like, I was like, are they gonna see it? And again, I wasn't like, oh my god, maybe I should pick that up. But I was just like, oh well, like I wonder if they're gonna like notice it or like if they're gonna say anything. And one guy did. He was like, I like your bath mat. I was like, thanks. Appreciate it. But yeah, it's weird subjecting yourself to these things as like an adult when you're more like, I know it, like I know that you're thinking things.
Yeah.
Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder though, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So like so we talked about how kind of like as you're getting older, you're being more conscious and more aware of like who you are and like who other people like I guess like aware that other people are making these opinions.
Mm-hmm.
And like I wonder, I guess, how that factors into like relationships like earlier on, you know, like those like tiny baby through like high school relationships versus like undergrad relationships versus like now relationships, because it's like that same kind of thing of like you're not necessarily forced with the people that you're like you kind of have to just like go out of your way to make friends. Like you kind of have to like go out of your way to like meet people too, and it's really freaking weird. And like
Yeah. You would connect that because I was thinking about that too.
Oh my god.
Because we were talking about friendships, I was like, it feels like we're dating these people, like, and you're friendship dating,
right? But you're doing the same like kind of vetting and like seeing if you vibe,
if they're gonna stick around in 6 months.
Right. It's weird. I just kind of noticed that when we were talking. I was like, didn't intend to get into relationships on this, but like I guess like you have to go out of your way to meet friends. You have to kind of go out of your way to meet like people, like dating. But it's like harder, I feel like.
Your dating pool though in high school is like this big.
Yeah.
Which is why I didn't like any of them. But like,
fair. We had a bad selection. No offense.
Pool in college got bigger.
Too big.
But like also think about how we kept it kind of close to where we were.
Yeah.
And who we were around. We found those comforts. Like mine was my dorm. Yours was home.
Yeah.
And that was probably because you were used to home because of the high school relationship you had.
Yeah. It was like a different kind of sense though, because like with that relationship, he and I didn't really talk in high school. So it's like we didn't really know each other until, but it was still like those mutual friends from home. And like it was literally like you and Eric who like had both been friends of mine since junior high. Right. So yeah, it definitely was like that kind of comfort thing at the beginning, I think.
That's what I say all the time. Like I want to date someone who's a mutual friend of somebody else. Like
yeah, well, you would think that's a good idea. I mean, I still kind of think it's a good idea. I think that whole thing was a little bit of a fluke, but did you know him well? Did you? Eric did, obviously, because they were living together. But I'm just wondering, like like, yeah, he was like a mutual friend, and I think that kind of served as a little bit of like, okay, like my friends know him, like him, so like he's fine.
I didn't know him that well. I
Okay.
I knew um I don't want to say names. I think I knew your high school one better than I knew,
Yeah.
like, we were classmate friends, and
Well,
now
and my high school one, like, Mare knew him too, and like,
even in that class, like, I felt like we talked a lot more and, like, got to know each other more because it was a science class, so we were, like, able to do, like, group work together.
right,
So
right,
when we were done with things, we would talk.
yeah,
But the other one was in my math class.
yeah.
It's like, you didn't talk to him much other than before and after the bell, and then it was, "Oh, A&M, cool, like, me too," and then it just happened, and I don't know how that friendship really formed unless Eric knew him.
Eric did know him for a while, I think, but also my like college boyfriend was just very like pretty outgoing.
Yeah.
So like literally one commonality and like ran with it. Um,
Right.
which is like a good thing, but like a good trait. But
I
yeah,
think
no. I also think my what?
I think I trusted it because of Eric,
Okay.
but I
That's
don't
what I
think
think
Eric
so too.
knew his true.
No, he definitely did not. Because once he like kind of started seeing that stuff, then skirted out of there.
Yeah.
But um
But that's
I
what
feel like
happens when he's deceiving in
huh?
general. I said that's what happens when he's deceiving in general.
No. But I feel like the high school one was just a lot more like involved with like my friends.
He was.
You know, like in a good way. Like was like welcomed into the group, kind of like tagged along a couple times, but like not in like too much. Like honestly, the relationship wasn't great, but the like interaction with friends type of thing, I think that was like a good
Good
balance.
friend, bad boyfriend.
What?
A good friend, bad boyfriend.
Yeah, exactly. Which is, I think, what I've been saying about him since we broke up.
That's what I say
Um,
online sometimes.
yeah.
Like even though we were never friends, but like
You know those traits that are going to be a good friend.
yeah,
But it's like sometimes they're just not mature enough or
relationship.
um like just ready
Yeah.
like mentally to like be in a relationship.
Yeah, because I think when I look back at that relationship, like that was the hardest part that I had to get over was him being my best friend.
Yeah, for sure.
Which like part of that was because like I closed myself off from other people, but like still like 3 years of being around each other, like it was no, this is my best friend.
Right.
So that's what I grieved more than anything.
Yeah. Well, that's hard too because it's like you have all those shared experiences. It's
Yeah,
like you trusted them so much and you like did spend so much time with them that it's like you have a lot of history, which a lot of it's like was good and gonna stay good, but a lot of that good was more like in the friend side than like
exactly.
relationship side, you know?
I'm like that's how we always got out of like arguments or how we like figured it back or how we like kind of shook off like the dust of an argument was
Yeah,
being friendly and goofing off again. And then like that would ground us.
right.
So I'm like, yes, every relationship needs to have like a good friendship foundation, like
Yeah.
part of it. Like if you're gonna hang out with someone for your whole life, but if they
But
can't be good, if they can't be good at a relationship part either, like that's a big part.
which is literally I feel like one of the most annoying things is like because I know I used to say, like after me and my high school boyfriend broke up, I think this was like no, it was like recent. And then after me and my college boyfriend broke up too, but I didn't say this so much about my college one. But like my high school one, I think I told you this a couple of times. I was like, you know what? Like, not a great like boyfriend for sure now, but I'm like, by the time he's 30, I'm sure he's gonna make someone like very happy and like he's gonna be great.
Right.
But it's irritating because I also feel like a lot of guys like they're great at that like friendship part right now, but it's like they just physically like aren't, and like a lot of it's not even their fault, I guess I can say. Like they're just not mature enough. Like it's just not like in their nature. And like this isn't true of like all guys and like blah, 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 disclaimer, nah. But like it's I mean it's kind of, it seems to be like a big trend, at least in the people that like I know.
Yeah. I always feel like I also hear from women more than guys that like, oh, they'd be a good friend or they'd be this or like we can always find those redeeming qualities.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that just a sign of our maturity? We're just still being a little more ignorant in the fact that they are never going to be mature. I don't know. But
I've
no,
also,
it's hard.
yeah, I've realized too, like, I don't think I've ever seen a guy go through a breakup. Like, I would love to see, like, genuinely, like, what their thoughts are, like, what
Oh,
their feelings
yeah.
are. Because obviously, like, we're all people. We all have them. Like, the girl on the side of the relationship is, like, gonna be comparably, I hope, heartbroken to, like, the guy in the relationship.
You would
And
think.
so, like, I would hope so. I mean, is that always the case? No. But, like, I would really like to almost be like a fly on the wall for that, because also I like can't make all of these like, I don't want to say accusations, but like assumptions and whatnot, because it's like I don't actually know what a guy's going through like breakup wise, except maybe with like one of my friends.
Right. I was trying to think of like maybe seeing Lance go through one,
Yeah.
but I feel like he usually checks out of them before it gets to that.
Yeah.
Um, or if he has like big things, big feelings about it, they come out in different ways than what I would say is like proper breakup etiquette. But that's also me being a girl and him being a guy, so I don't know if like
Right.
it's proper for them.
That's,
Um,
I just don't know like guy world on this stuff.
yeah, but I would really be interested to see it like behind closed doors too, like be a fly on the wall for that because I know my breakup behind closed doors, it was me processing a lot of emotions differently than whenever I was in front of somebody talking to them about the breakup. Um,
Yeah.
like there's a lot more emotion there whenever I was by myself and able to go through it.
Right. It's a lot more raw.
Yeah. So with guys, I'm like, there has to be a behind closed doors thing that y'all are going through that no one's ever going to see.
Yeah.
Because I wondered that with my ex, like, and then I got a little clarity with that, I guess. But again, that's a friend saying it, and my friend
Right.
didn't see everything that happened.
Right.
Not that they even have to, and I don't think guys need to show their friends everything either. Like,
Yeah.
go through your breakup how you should and like grieve in that way, but I don't know. I
It
think
is like,
it's just weird.
yeah, and I've said this a lot when it comes to like biblical context. I'm not tying like the Bible into this whole thing, but like it made me first think about like there's one degree of interpretation that happens with every conversation. So like what happens behind closed doors is like your real raw, like that's 0 degrees like wavered from what's actually going on. But like the minute you try to like if I'm going through something and I try to like verbalize that to you, like even though I'm doing the best that I can, like I still have emotions that like I'm not great at communicating my emotions or even like letting myself feel it at like all levels. So
Right.
it's like whatever I'm thinking and actually feeling, I'm probably not going to communicate well to you. And like whether it's consciously or subconsciously may like omit some information. And then it's like if that friend goes and like tells, like if you were friends with like my college ex and were to go to him and be like, oh my gosh, this is what Kylie's going through, like I just didn't even know if you were like aware of this, that's already like 2 degrees like away from what's actually going on.
Which is why like where gossip and like all that stuff comes.
Right.
Like that's how stories get changed and misinterpreted. Yeah. I just Now I'm thinking about like how people are with breakups. I want to see it.
I'd be interested. But the thing is, that's such like a personal and private thing.
Yeah.
And it should be, and it should stay that way. So it's like, it's not like I'm not gonna go up and be like, hey, you, you're going through a breakup right now. Can you just like record when you're in your room by yourself and just like give me the voice memo? Thanks.
I think that, okay, TikTok. I think that helped me a lot during my breakup though.
Ah, okay.
A lot of people, which of course it was because my For You page figured out that I was going through a breakup because a lot of people were showing that raw emotion on camera.
Yeah, that's
Of course,
true.
there's still some like awareness of being on camera to that, so it's not like
Right.
but me watching that and me hearing them just rant and rave about how upset they were about certain situations, about certain feelings they were going through, I was like, me too. So it helps to process everything a lot easier.
I didn't even think
I
about
do it.
Yeah, but that's true. I didn't think about that. That's really cool how like I don't know, like I mean I don't have TikTok anymore, but I do think it's good for like I don't think TikTok's bad, but like I think it's really cool how like it's become almost like a platform of like you can be like by yourself just like talking and like have these like real raw emotions regardless of if they're like happy, sad, angry, whatever. And like not like you're not talking to a person, you don't have like that stress of talking to an actual person. It's almost like you're just talking to yourself or like talking to yourself in the mirror, but instead it's just like a camera, but you're able to still like get that out there and like help other people with such like raw feelings.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't really think about that before.
Because I remember like having a lot of nights going through last year just being like, I can't get my brain to stop, but I could go on TikTok and I could kind of watch these videos of other people going through the same thing and go, wow, I'm not alone in this. And not that I ever thought I was alone in that, but my close personal friends were not going through a breakup at the same time as me, obviously.
Right.
So me being able to like hop onto TikTok and be like, wow, there's a community of us going through breakups right now.
Mm-hmm.
I can relate and I can understand and I can kind of process my own emotions because they're able to articulate things that I haven't even thought of yet.
Yeah.
Wow, this was great. It's so weird though, like having that much interconnectedness in the world though.
Yeah.
But it has a lot of pros.
Oh, for sure.
Um,
A lot of pros until you get on self-help TikTok and can't get off of it, and then you have to delete the app for months on end because it's just too much.
There was a point where I was like, okay, I think I'm good with the breakup now. Can we go to something else on my page? All the tarot cards. What was it?
I said enter Book Talk.
Book Talk, yes. I love Book Talk. Book Talk's fun.
Yeah.
And I'm on Teacher Talk now too.
Cute. I was on that a bit before I deleted it, and honestly, it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I just love seeing all their outfits, and I was like, "You're definitely an elementary school teacher."
Yes. I don't know. No, TikTok just like really gets my brain going though. Just that we're looking at all these different people from around the world and going, oh, I relate. It's weird.
Yeah.
But also, I was an international studies major, and that was a big thing we used to talk about was like interconnectedness around the world. So
that's so neat. I love it. Okay, so now that we've gone on this like tangent, well, not even a tangent, just this little canal in this big river that we're addressing of making friends / dating when you're older.
And friendships within those relationships.
Yeah. Ugh. That's so much. This is a whole web of things, honestly, to like talk about. But
well, human connection though.
Oh, I kind of told you about this, but
we're gonna have to wrap it up. We're at an hour and 17 minutes.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna just say, guys who go to church with you, green flags. That's it.
And we'll end it right there. Yes for green flags. Taking it one step at a time. One green flag at a time.
What? One green flag?
At a time.
Yes. Okay.
Starting out as a friend too.
Yeah.
Bringing it back.
God. Okay. Are we gonna get there? Do we need to wrap up?
Bye.
Bye, besties. Have a great 2 weeks. Mwah.
Mwah.